I'd like to call the Butte-Silver Council of Commissioners regular meeting for Wednesday, July 1st, 2026 to order. Clerk, could we please have a roll call?
12 present, 0 absent.
12 present, 0 absent. Commissioner Walker, could you please lead us in the prayer and the pledge?
Almighty God, we implore you, look upon us and guide us this night as we make decisions which so greatly affect our community of Butte-Silver. Direct our thoughts, words, and deeds so that we please you and best serve our fellow citizens.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we'll move on to any public comment on any item on tonight's agenda. If you'd like to speak on any item on tonight's agenda, please come forward, state your name, your address, and the item that you would like to speak about.
Ready for us, 2000 Roberts Avenue. Communication 1-2026-327. I'd like to speak in favor of the appointment of Russell Leary to the Public Art Committee. I think he's going to do great things and right people for the right job. I'd also like to speak in favor of communication number 2026-351-24. Putting solar panels on the library's roof. I think that's going to be great and cut down on the city's power bill, Northwestern Energy. And who doesn't love that for the taxpayers? Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment on tonight's agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from the June 17th, 2026 regular meeting. Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I'll make a motion we approve the June 17th, 2026 regular meeting minutes.
We have a motion and a second to approve the June 17th, 2026 regular meeting minutes. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
12 yea, 0 nay.
12 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Next, we don't have any items that are not addressed on tonight's agenda, so we'll move on to the Chief Executive's report. I won't make this long, just I want to wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July weekend. We're going to have an incredible celebration. I've had people reach out and say, what is Butte going to do to really celebrate the 250th celebration for the 4th of July? And it's pretty hard to say that we're doing anything different because Butte just celebrates the 4th of July extremely well all the time. But I know the Town Pump Foundation has put extra effort into the fireworks on the 3rd of July. I think it's going to be extraordinary. I've talked to the Parks and Rec Director, Sean Fredrickson, about what the display is going to be like this year. And if you are going to miss the fireworks, you're going to miss something spectacular because they put some extra fireworks into it that I know that there's some fireworks that are going to be on display that there's only like 15 communities in the United States will have the fireworks that we'll have in Butte. And so the very first firework and the last firework are going to be something to see. So so be on the lookout for those. The parade is going to be one of the largest parades that we've seen in a long time. So like Butte always does, it's going to be a celebration like we always do, and so I'm looking forward to that, just the celebration. So hopefully everyone keeps their fingers as they're lighting up the fireworks. That's always, as people do that, we celebrate well, and everybody's respectful to their neighbors as we go through that. So anyhow, I'll close out the Chief Executive's report, and we're going to move on to Section 1, bid openings, public hearings, and/or presentations. We have one presentation at the beginning, and then we'll have a presentation later on to be read and acted upon later on here. So very first one is communication number 2026 2026-325, Matt Enruth, Butte-Silver Bowl County Attorney, requesting Council Commissioners permission to schedule a presentation on June 24th regarding the current state of the Butte-Silver Bowl County Attorney's Office. County Attorney Enruth.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to present tonight. I hope you enjoy the presentation. I hope you enjoy the pink. My daughter had some say in how this presentation went together, and that's how it ended up pink. So we're going to start off with a brief performance review and operational assessment, then the current staffing analysis I have, and then a compensation and retention issue that we're currently going through in my office. So first off, for those of you that don't know, but most of you all do, the main mission of the Butte-Silver County Attorney's Office is to protect the public. We primarily prosecute major felony cases, all misdemeanor cases. We safeguard residents and victims from crimes across Butte-Silver County. We do that in connection with local law enforcement, Montana Highway Patrol. We also do that with local and federal agencies such as DCI, Missouri River Drug Task Force, the FBI, the U.S. Marshals. We were dealing with the Marshals this week and last week with regards to fugitives from justice. So we deal with everybody across the board. My job, as you all know, is I'm your chief legal counsel and advisor. I not only advise all of you, I advise the department heads, I advise Chief Executive Gallagher, and any other individual that's within the county that needs help with something that they're working on. We try to do it timely, and we try to have open access to all. That's if you can find me in my office at any given time, because that's a very hard thing to do. So by Montana law, we are mandated to prosecute criminal cases, to protect the county from civil cases, civil liability. When we talk about criminal cases, we talk about all of them in justice court, city court, district court. Some of the things that a lot of people don't realize that we also deal with in Butte, Montana is we have, as you all know, a severe mental health problem. Butte, Montana does the vast majority of the recommitments and initial commitments to the Montana State Hospital. Primarily, I of the opinion because of our location and how close we are located to the Montana State Hospital, but it's also due to local mental health problems, drug abuse, things of that nature. The other thing that we have a large caseload on, if not the largest caseload per capita on, are DN cases. DN cases are called dependent and neglect cases. They're the cases where we remove children from homes where they're either being abused, neglected, not fed, not taken care of. We have a significantly higher number than most cities, especially when it comes to per capita. And then again, with civil representation, contracts, ordinances, resolutions, litigation for our local government. The one thing that everybody kind of forgets about is Butte-Silver County is Butte-Silver County. We are the city and we are the county. The county attorney's office is combined. It is something that is unique to us and Anaconda only. Any other major metropolis or city in the state of Montana has a county attorney's office and a city attorney's office. Helena has it, Bozeman has it, Missoula has it, Billings has it, Dillon, Deer Lodge, Flathead County. And the reason this is important was it'll come up later on in the presentation. One other unique thing that we do here in Butte-Silver County, which a lot of our big counties still don't have, is we have treatment courts and specialty courts. So it's another added job duty to what my office is doing. So who is in my office? Myself. I have my Chief Deputy County Attorney, Ann Shea. I have several other Deputy County Attorneys, Mike Clegg, Sean Peterson, Caitlin Lamb, Ben Krakoka, Brian Dunlap. We just lost Aaron Rains. He went into private practice here about a month ago, so I currently have an open position. That position has been open for about a month and a half now. We have one viable applicant. Butte-Silver County has got a drought on attorneys, and we're just not getting any that are wanting to come and move in. We also contract with Tim Dick. He's a local attorney in town. For those of you that don't know him, he helps with our dependent and neglect cases. That is a contract that's actually run through, I believe, the district court budget. It's called 4K money, 4E money. Comes from federal statutes that allow us to prosecute those DN cases and help those kids. So that is an outside contract. I also do the DN cases when Tim has a conflict we get conflicts a lot just simply because we're a small town and it's a local community. And being in private practice, Tim has represented a lot of these parents in other matters. Our current support staff is 5 legal assistants. We have 1 legal assistant that is a dedicated discovery specialist. Discovery is evidence. It's what comes in, on any criminal case. It gets processed, it gets sent out to opposing counsel. Those are police reports, videos, all that fun stuff. That job in and of itself is a full-time job. She does nothing else. In 2005, this is the performance dashboard, or the performance budget that was submitted to the county. We prosecuted over 405 felony cases. Those are new cases, brand new to 2025. Those do not include any that rolled over from 2024. Those also do not include what are called revocations. In the felony criminal system, and even in the misdemeanor criminal system, but primarily the felony system, when an individual is sentenced to either the Montana Department of Corrections or the Montana State Prison, a lot of times they receive a portion of their sentence is suspended. So they get 10 years to the Montana State Prison with 5 suspended. They go do their 5 years in prison. They get out on the other 5. That is when they're on probation. Statistically speaking, most of these individuals violate, and we end up revoking them, which is basically another whole new felony case based off of the old one. So this 405 number does not represent any of those. The biggest staggering numbers that we have are city court and justice court. We have approximately, close to 4,000 misdemeanor cases that are being prosecuted by just 2 misdemeanor attorneys right now. This is an extremely daunting task, given that one of these misdemeanor attorneys is also my civil deputy, basically, and the other one is Mike Clegg, who does a lot of our treatment court work. We also did 48 mental health commitments in 2025. We're going to surpass that by a lot this year. 45 youth court cases. These are juveniles. A lot of these cases now under some new statutes are being prosecuted faster, but we're getting more of them. Caitlin Lamb has got substantially more than 45 cases as of right now, and we're only halfway through the year. And then with regards to legislation, resolutions, and ordinance, all those combined was about 65 last year. Those are down a little bit this year, but I think those will start to tick up. So one of the things I'm talking about here tonight is investment in my office. It's an investment in the people that are in there. Institutional knowledge is key to that place. Without it, it will fall apart. Our case volumes are drastically increasing. Our staffing remains lean for what we're doing. Like I said, 3,700 misdemeanor criminal court cases. That's before tickets are counted. That's not tickets. A lot of these court cases have 4 and 5 tickets a case. We get retention with prosecutors and legal assistants. We get better case quality, victim support, courtroom support. One of the people that wasn't put in that legal assistant part is we also have a victim advocate. She is budgeted, however, through grant funding. So we do have Darla McCarthy. She is our victim advocate, and she does a fantastic job as well. So one of the things I want to talk about tonight is investing in those individuals, why we should invest them, and a comparison between us and a couple of other counties. So like I said, Butte-Silver County is a combined office. One that the problem that we have with this is all of our other major counties that are comparison to us numbers-wise with the amount of cases we prosecute are bigger in the sense of a tax base. That's our biggest problem right now. But here's just a simple comparison. The Butte-Silver County Attorney's Office, I showed you guys all those stats. The Flathead County Attorney's Office, just the County Attorney's Office has 15 attorneys. 9 of them are criminal attorneys. 3 are civil, and then they had some kind of weird ones in there, and then their county attorney. They prosecuted 382 felonies that last year. Not significantly fewer than us, and when you look at that number-wise, but you can't tell which are which and what kind of felonies they're prosecuting. The thing that is upticking in Butte-Silver County right now, and it's because we have some fantastic law enforcement officers, and a lot of you have seen this in the news, is individuals that are in possession of child pornography, and extremely graphic and violent child pornography. I'm not talking about photographs that are involving individuals that are ages 14 to 16 that may look like an adult. I'm talking about children and infants, and I'm talking about violent, abusive type stuff. Right now, there are over a dozen of those cases pending in my office. They're getting prosecuted. We're doing well on them. But when you look at us compared to Flathead County also has a separate city attorney's office. They have 3 other attorneys in that office. They have a total of 18 in that county to cover the amount of work that the same amount of work that we're doing here. So this is happening all across the state. Butte-Silver County just happens to be, kind of at that cross section of close to the prison. We have a pre-release. We have, lots of other things that are around us. It draws it into our community, so we have a lot more to deal with. So on top of that regular caseload, like I was talking about, we have 3 courts, treatment courts, we actually have 4. We have 3 people that cover them. So we have our DUI and Veterans Treatment Court. Those are primarily operated by Mike Clegg, Judge McCarthy, Judge Kilmer. These courts are preventative courts. They are meant to, stop people from getting that felony DUI. They're meant to help the veterans in our community that are suffering from PTSD and things like that turns to alcohol, that turns to drugs, rather than being able to seek, additional help. These 2 courts are highly respected throughout this state to the point that we actually get individuals from other counties requesting to come into them because of how well they work and how well they're staffed. Another individual that helps a lot with those courts is Mike's wife, Suzanne Clay, who is fantastic at that. Family Drug Court is staffed currently by me. It was previously staffed by Aaron Rains. That court is ran primarily out of Judge Frank Joseph's court. In order to get into Family Drug Court, the name's kind of misleading. It can also be an alcohol issue, but you have to be, an individual that's got kids, that's got an addiction issue. They don't let violent offenders in. And so that one, again, is to help, in different ways than DUI court and Veterans Court. It's to kind of, grab that niche where you have the overlap of DN cases and, parents that have, that currently have pending felony drug charges or multiple felony drug charges. These courts provide structure, help with jobs, housing. There's funds in these courts to even help these people get like their first payment for a rental home and to get them off of the streets and to get them into a good place. So on top of all the prosecutorial duties and everything else, these 2 courts are running, and then our mental health courts. Sean Peterson, myself, and Mike Clegg split that, but Sean primarily handles it. Just to give you an idea on mental health, we've had 4 since last Thursday. Yeah, I had 3 and Sean had 1. I think one of them was dismissed. But again, that's another crisis that we're having in our community, and we're currently, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because in order to, just prosecute those cases, and we're not prosecuting these individuals in that normal sense, but to help them in their time of need, we also have to have other people. Amanda Krieg has been kind enough for the past few years to help us with those evaluations and all of that stuff, and she's taking a step back. And so now we have to have, look for someone else to help fill that in, and myself and JP and everybody are working on that. But again, we're very limited in Butte, Montana with the amount of people we have. So I have some requests of the council. Tonight is not an actual legitimate request. It is just the presentation first. With regards to Anshay, Mike Clegg, and Sean Peterson, I'm requesting salary adjustments and reclassification of their job titles. Anshay is the Chief Deputy County Attorney. She manages all of the deputies in conjunction with myself. However, Mike Clegg, I am going to, in the future, be requesting that his title be reclassified to the Chief Criminal Deputy County Attorney, because that's what he does. Any of these young attorneys in the office, and we have 3 of them right now, that have not had the years of experience of prosecuting, they all go to Mike. Mike helps them. Obviously, they come to Annie and myself as well, but Mike is the one that is helping these kids prepare their trials, prepare witness and exhibit lists, and how to conduct cross-examinations, and really getting them into the courtroom and helping them develop their skills. In my opinion, you're a baby lawyer until you've been in it for 10 years. I was a baby lawyer until last year. I've got 3 people in the office right now that are 5-6 years, and that's it. And that's just not a lot in the legal world. Sean Peterson, a lot of you know Sean. I'd like to reclassify him as my Chief Civil Deputy County Attorney. primarily because that is a lot of what he is doing right now. He is dealing with helping redraft ordinances and all of the extra civil things that I can't get to because of meetings or, you know, anything that pops up in the county that we got to jump on, things like that. And then I have 2 senior paralegals. I have Pam LaProuse and Teresa Duffy. They have extensive legal knowledge. Without these 2 women, that place would fall apart. They are well-trained. They know their stuff. They can roll right into anything. I mean, you can basically ask them to do legal work and they can get it done for you. We have a commitment in our office. I mean, our commitment is to protect, you know, the citizens of this county. It's what we do. I mean, Ann Shea was downstairs. I left the office today. I know she was there until at least 6 o'clock. She's been there until at least 6 o'clock every night this week. I know Mike Clegg is in the morning early. The office kind of ebbs and flows that way, but it's critical, you know, that we continue to do that, but we also have to balance that with how much we're working them, how much work can they take on, particularly with the type of work that they're taking on. Like I said, child sex abuse cases, CSAM cases, are heinous, and they take a serious toll on people to the point that, you know, we have a portion of our budget that's geared towards helping them with mental health and counseling when needed. And also because we rotate it. You only get to do it for so long, and then it's got to go to the next person. And we do that so people don't get burnt out. But we want to continue, you know, ensuring justice to protect victims, support our law enforcement, and also fulfill our statutory duties. So my goal is, you know, paths toward a sustainable office and a sustainable future. You know, a couple of alternatives. You know, provide a compensation adjustment for these individuals. The people that have been in there that have proved, you know, that they are entitled to it. Or, you know, alternatively, I need additional staff because I need staff to cover these cases. You know, long-term vision is to grow the office and raise their salaries to compete with the private sector. So we bring in good, qualified attorneys. Some of the compensation that I would be asking for is something like with Chief Deputy County Attorney Ann Shea. You know, her key responsibilities, as I said before, she supervises all the deputies, oversees all major felony prosecutions along with myself. She deals primarily with child sexual abuse, sex assault, dangerous drug cases. She's the lead on the vast majority of complex felony cases outside of myself and Mr. Clegg. She's a mentor. She does all those things. You know, and a big key part of her, you know, job on top of being a really good prosecutor is managing staff. You know, her current salary is about $137,686. These numbers don't reflect currently what was done with the new budget. You know, but I would be requesting that she be bumped up to the 142, 143 range to compensate her for the additional things that she's been doing. You know, that adjustment aims to, you know, recognize her advanced duties, her leadership skills, and support retention, particularly with her and Mike, because they're getting to that point where do they keep working or do they retire? You know, we've got to give them something to keep working for and compensate them for that. Mike Clegg is my big one. Mike has been dedicated to that office in Butte-Silver County for over 25 years. I mean, his institutional knowledge is just insane. It really is. I mean, the man works so hard. He's accumulated over 300 hours of comp time. Half the time, I got to tell you, I don't even think he puts it on his sheet. I come in on the weekends. I can guarantee you he'll be there this weekend when I go into work. He's there the most weekends when I go into work. And again, he is the guy that's running these treatment courts, and these treatment courts prevent you know, recidivism and people from committing new crimes, and it helps our community. And I mean, Mike is the man at what he's doing. Same with Sean. You know, a salary raise that would be commensurate with what he's doing for work, how long he's been there. Sean Peterson is one of those people that when you walk into the room and you think you're the smartest guy in the room, and that guy walks in with his shaggy hair and his weird clothes, he is the smartest guy in the room, hands down. His knowledge of civil law and just the random other things he knows, and how this county works and how fast he was able to pick up on that really shows how much of an asset he is. This is the type of guy that, you know, graduated from Montana Tech, you know, magna cum laude with a metallurgy degree, graduated from Michigan State in the top of his class, and could literally be the CEO of any Fortune 500 company he wants to. But he's choosing to be a prosecutor. He's choosing to help his community. which again, I want to retain that because you can't get that anywhere else, which again is why, I'll be asking for, a raise for him. Why do we want to invest in those people? One, there aren't a lot of other people. There just simply aren't. Butte-Silver County is lacking on attorneys, mental health professionals, doctors, the whole works. We don't have a lot of that right now. And I can tell you the caliber of attorney that is in that office is as good or better than any private practice in the state. It really is when it comes to institutional knowledge of what they do, how they can practice law, anything like that. And that's why we would take more people in a heartbeat, but retaining the people we have, in my opinion, is more important. And these two, Pam and Teresa, they have been there for a long time. They help us process very complex cases. A lot of you probably have never seen one, but when you go to a trial, we're going to have one on July 20th. It's going, if anybody wants to come and watch. It's a sexual assault case. Pam puts together the trial in the sense of there's a trial notebook. There's a list of things that happens. I will show up in my office and she will have that done here for me by the end of next week. And when you look at these trial notebooks and how detailed they are, and for me to be able to just simply flip through, grab what I want, know where I want it, she does all of that. Teresa is right there with her. Teresa just doesn't do it for me. Pam does it for me. Teresa is primarily Mike Clegg's and Brinker Coca's paralegal. And so, I want to keep these people, and I believe that they deserve a raise. I believe that they are entitled to a better compensation than what they're currently getting. And again, I understand that our budgets and everything are tight. But again, these two specific roles are vital to that office. We do have other legal secretaries in there. I'm about to have an open position. Lori is retiring after well over 30 plus years. Her institutional knowledge is going to be gone. We've had lots of applicants, but realistically there isn't a single one that can do the job, let alone replace her. So I got to try and keep the people I've got. They've got seniority, they can act independently. I don't need to manage them all the time. They understand, the complex part of our cases. They know everybody in the courthouse. They know how to deal with things. So that's why I'm talking about the, strategic investment in that legal support. With the retirement of a senior legal assistant, that presents me with the opportunity of raising their salaries. Her salary, because of COLA raises and things like that, is significantly higher than theirs. And one of the requests I would be making is to use that difference to raise their salaries rather than asking for additional funds from the general fund. And that is the end of my presentation. Those people work hard. I want to retain them. We don't have a union that gets to go in and bargain for them, so I have to bargain for them here. I want to say that we are very cognizant of the budget and the budget process and how hard it is to put all of that together, and whether or not the money is there, it is my job to come here and to fight for them, to argue for them. So whether or not the council, agrees to any of my suggestions or recommendations, that's completely up to you. I just want it to be known that, I highly respect JP and Karen and all the things they do in the budgetary process. I just also have an office of people that don't have a voice outside of, me. So that's why I'm here. So if anybody's got any questions or anything like that, I'd like to answer those now, or we can move on to the next presentations.
Thanks, County Attorney. Do Commissioners, Commissioner Callahan.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Thank you, Matt. I'm sure you know what your question's coming. Yeah. I've been asking you for a year. The two gals,
Yes.
and there was 3 of them last year,
Yes.
came to us asking for a minimal raise before the budget was signed. And we were looking forward to putting something in the budget for that, but we were told that wasn't necessary, that they just needed some advancement paperwork done to show that they're up to the next level. And at that time, when them gals came to us, your deputies told us they were the heartbeat of the office.
100%.
And here we are a year later, they haven't got that raise. I find that, I struggle with that, you talk about retention, you can't keep people. If, you know, if they deserve that money, we believe you should give it to them. And I honestly was pushing hard for them a year ago, and we definitely will continue to push for them. If you want quality people, you got to pay them. And so I'm behind you, but I'm actually disappointed that, you know, here we are a year later and it hadn't happened for those gals, because even all the deputies got up and said, these people, our office couldn't run with these ladies. And apparently you're losing one of them now, is that it? Because there was 3 of them last year that was on the list. And that kind of stuff is hard to replace, as you said, so we don't want to lose the other 2 also.
Chief
Commissioner
Executive Gallagher.
Callahan, County Attorney Enroth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Callahan, it's the matrix. So my initial understanding of the matrix and how it worked was if, you know, they were doing substantially more work. So when I got into looking at that and how it actually works, that's not part of how you get a raise in the matrix. It's based off of years and if new job duties are added. That wasn't there. So we sat down and had that talk, and when we did, you know, they decided, okay, that's fine. We will request it at the next, you know, budgetary process, and we'll do that. But, you know, when Director Hassler and those guys get their budget done, after we've requested it through them, and then we would come here. So realistically, it was, we did look at that. We went through it. It's just the way that works didn't work. And so, yes, Lori is retiring. She's, like I said, she's been there a very long time. She's got that institutional knowledge. And then when we sat down with the other girls, and with Lori retiring, that provides, in my opinion, a different solution to the raise, or, you know, to providing them with additional raises, is that her salary is higher. And, you know, that money has been in my budget. To use that portion of hers to redistribute to them would be one of the ways I would suggest that we could do it. So that's why it did take so long, is, you know, Lori was contemplating retiring. We kind of waited till Lori made her decision, and then based off of the matrix and how the raises work in the study, and everything that Butte-Silver County had done, it came down to we had to come back and ask here.
Thanks, County Attorney Enroth. Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Speaking of this matrix, I guess I'm confused. So did you approach HR to go through the whole reclassification system with these guys? Because I was under the impression last year that that was the issue, that they had to approach HR to go through the reclassification system. Was that done?
Commissioner Thatcher, County Attorney Enroth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Thatcher. Yes, we talked to him, and that was the problem. Was to reclassify them, you have to have additional job duties, or more years or things like that. It's not based off of the amount of work that's coming into the office. So the reclassification through the grid didn't work.
So
I think I'm saying that right.
the reclassification, so the job duties didn't change, so that there was not. But within the job classification, the positions actually did get a larger raise because they were under the salary schedule. So they got more of the COLA than what everybody else did, because the 3%, most the other positions they adjusted. So as we did the salary schedule, like all of our positions, and I, you know, I hate to say this, all of our positions within the county. And if we're going to come up here and do this and negotiate salaries in front of council all the time, and I appreciate everything that the county attorney is talking about, but we have these professional people in all of our departments, in every single department, that if you go out in the private sector, they can make more money in the private sector. But we will be dealing with this in every single department, that we will be dealing with this. And we went out to the salary survey, and we did this where we looked at the salaries. We did a cost basis. We never had that in before. And well, we did it, and then we did away with it. And so we're following it, and we're continuing with this. And we can look at these salaries, and we can look at these positions, and we can look at reclassification. But if we continue to come back in and ask to reclassify because there's money left in the budget, and say, well, let's just take this money and redo this, you're going to have every single department doing this to negotiate positions. Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. I wholeheartedly agree, and I have the utmost respect for everyone in this office. I just, like he said, I have a hard time because, I mean, we have very important offices in our county, along with the county attorney that, like he's saying, would ask to be making the same amount of money, or more money, excuse me. I did have a question, though. One thing that stuck out in your presentation was that you discussed that County Attorney Shea or Deputy County Attorney Shea and Mr. Clegg, you want them to be supervising the other deputies. But in my mind, doesn't that fall under your role and your pay already?
Commissioner Thatcher, County Attorney Enruth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Thatcher, yeah, it does, but it also falls under theirs. We have, like I showed you, 4,000 cases. On top of that, I advise all of you. I bop in and out of JP's office every day. We talk about MACO, we talk about fun things. They are in supervisory roles. It's no different than any other department in which it has a director and then it has multiple people under the director supervising people. I supervise my supervisors. Ann and I talk and meet on a regular basis to discuss what the people underneath them are doing, and that also doesn't include the 10 times a day that the rest of the deputies will walk into Ann's office and she's busy. They will step right into mine and I will discuss all of that with them. So yes, it does fall under my job description as well, but you'll also notice I didn't ask for a raise in my salary.
Thank you. Follow-up, Commissioner Thatcher.
I mean, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just making sure that I just have this all correct. Obviously, a big thing, another question I have is the civil work that you're discussing. I was also under the impression that if we got civil work, or if there was a civil case, how you're presenting it, insurance would cover it, and we kick that out. We kick that out if insurance covers it. So I guess, does insurance just not mostly cover it, or are you mostly referring to civil cases in which you're advising the Council of Commissioners and other local deals instead of civil cases that aren't being covered by insurance?
Commissioner Thatcher, County Attorney Enruth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Thatcher, that's a split. So when it gets kicked, it's a split. So the county attorney represents, any county attorney by statute represents the county in any lawsuit. However, when counties have insurance, the insurance companies have their own attorneys. So the county isn't paying for them, the insurance company is. So when Butte-Silver County gets sued for a negligence action that triggers insurance, that triggers their counsel. However, that doesn't actually stop my work. I initiate it, I send it to them. I work closely with Cindy Walker on all of those lawsuits. The ones that I end up defending alone are anything that doesn't deal with specific monetary damages. A lot of them are called declaratory judgment actions, which is a question of the law, whether or not an ordinance is constitutional, or whether or not the flag can be flying here. Those types of questions come to the office all the time. Primarily, every day in my email, we'll get 1 or 2 questions from directors or anybody else. Is this legal with regards to these statutes? What statutes do we need to follow that are guiding us here? The petition for the data center has been brought up recently. We've been emailing back and forth about that. If that gets challenged and Butte-Silver County is a part of that, I will be representing the county in that because, again, that deals specifically with the law and no damages. So it's a split. As of right now, we're probably about 60-40 with regards to damages cases versus regular civil cases, where the damages cases just happen more often. People's houses flood, or you get, rear-ended by a Butte-Silver County car. You fall on the sidewalk. It's the moment it triggers a monetary damage as it triggers our insurance's attorneys. Other than that, all the rest of the civil work stays with us.
Thank you, County Attorney Enruth. Follow-up, Commissioner Callahan, and then Commissioner O'Neill.
Thank you. The matrix deal, if it didn't work last year, what is different this year that it'll work? And if we go by the matrix, like Chief Executive Gallagher says, shouldn't these raises all be automatic?
Commissioner Callahan, County Attorney Enruth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Callahan, you're correct. They received raises this year. Pursuant to the matrix and how it works based off of years of service, and then there's and Chief Executive Gallagher, just correct me if I'm wrong on this, there's a low, a medium, and a high. And what the county is working towards in all of this is trying to get everybody to that medium to medium-high range through these steps. What my request is beyond that, because I think that they're worth more than that. And they were worth more than the raise they got. But Chief Executive Gallagher was correct. They received higher raises outside of the COLA than some other staff did because of the matrix itself. It did bump them up.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Thank you, Chief Executive. County Attorney, thank you. In your presentation, you mentioned, I think you did, adding more employees, adding more staff. How many did you say?
Commissioner O'Neill, County Attorney Enruth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner O'Neill. Again, if we were to look at adding staff, I would actually come up, with a similar matrix-style study that says, based off of our current caseload, X, Y, and Z, this is what we think we need. My problem with asking and I've spoken with Chief Executive Gallagher about this, asking for additional staff, it's not here. It's not in Butte. I mean, I have had a county attorney position, deputy county attorney position open since, May, end of April, beginning of May, almost 2 months. And it's an extremely high-paying job, especially, in my opinion, like right out the gate. It pays well. We just do not have the caliber of attorney in the town to one, do the job, or two, even attorneys that want to. Butte, Montana is just, and our surrounding communities, Anaconda, Dillon, Deer Lodge, we're very limited on the amount of attorneys that we have here, and including legal staff. So that's where I wasn't coming to this board to this commission to say, hey, I need 2 more people and 2 more paralegals. I honestly don't think I could fill the positions.
Follow-up, Commissioner O'Neill.
Thank you, Chief Executive. Thanks, Matt, County Attorney Enruth. Question for you as well is you compared it to Flathead County and their jail. Do you know, is their jail just as overcrowded as ours? Where I'm going with this is their staff is like triple ours. So would that, is that a, I don't, 2 questions. Is their jail as bad as ours? And if not, is it because they have a bigger team to kick people out of the jail? Thank you.
Commissioner O'Neill, County Attorney Enruth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner O'Neill, I can't honestly tell you if their jail is overcrowded. But the difference that you're going to get between that county and this county is the numbers that we have with regards to the amount of criminal cases, mental health commitments, civil commitments, juveniles. The numbers that we have are equal to or higher than theirs. And then they have more staff to deal with them. So they're spread out more. They can prosecute the cases faster. They can get them through the system faster. And one big issue that our county has that's not within my purview, it's actually not within any of this council's purview, is judges. We need another district court judge to process cases. Flathead County, I believe, has 5 or 6 judges. Don't quote me on that. It's a minimum of 5, though. And they have full caseloads, and that is the ability that they have, is more staff to prosecute faster. Our judges are actually doing an excellent job at getting cases ran through, particularly on the misdemeanor end. Judge McCarthy, Judge Kilmer, Judge Pesdark are fantastic at running those through. Your process with felony cases is simply slower. Discovery is bigger. There's more at stake. There's a lot more to do. So when you spread that out over 8, 9, 10 attorneys, where we're doing it with 5, it gets done faster. That's the biggest difference.
Thank you, County Attorney Enruth. Commissioner Thatcher, and then Commissioner O'Leary.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. I think it's difficult to compare. I mean, I understand that the workload might be the same, but the tax bases in Flathead Valley and in Butte-Silver are largely different. And I think that it puts everyone in a difficult position because we don't have the ability to have that many county attorneys. And I recognize that it isn't anyone here's fault that people are committing crimes and these suits keep happening and so forth, but that is a huge thing that we need to consider. Is our tax base is wildly different than many communities that have a rather largely staffed county attorney's office. And so I guess, and I'm sure it's everyone else's concern sitting up here, but I just don't understand, or I hope maybe somebody can shed light on it, how we can do this without having some sort of a tax impact on our community. I don't know.
Thanks, County Attorney. Commissioner O'Leary and then Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Thank you, Mr. Enruth, for the presentation. I'm a data-driven guy, and one of the things I would like to see, maybe, I know you can't probably come up with it right now, but a cost per capita for the county attorney's office for our city, and a cost per case prosecuted. Some way for us to compare this against other counties to see where we're falling. I was trying to do the math on the fly here, and it seems like Cascade County might be considered, Cascade County and Great Falls combined might actually be considerably more than us, but then Kalispell, Flathead County might actually be less than us. So if that's something you'd be willing to do, I think that'd help us a little bit try to figure out, where we're falling in the grand scheme of things.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Leary. Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. County Attorney Enruth, just a couple follow-up questions regarding your presentation. You had mentioned that you're going to ask this body to change their titles, and I'm just, maybe I misunderstood that. This body does not do the titles, and so I just want to make sure that that's a clarification, that we would not be setting the actual titles of these individuals. Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
And then second of all, a couple questions. What's the total budgetary impact that you're looking at, if you have that number? And two, I didn't see it because maybe the glare was too much on these things, but you laid it out nice on what the increase for each of the attorneys would be, but I didn't see one for Pam and Teresa. Can you just explain those?
Commissioner Morgan, County Attorney Enruth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Morgan. Yes, so overall budgetary impact, you're looking at an increase of about $50,000 to $60,000 for the office. But again, I'm not gonna stand on that number because I don't understand the math behind when someone's salary increases, their compensation package increases as well. That type of stuff. So when you're looking strictly salary based, that's the numbers you're looking at, around that $50,000 mark. That does not include the additional compensation that would be needed for their retirement benefits and things like that. Now, Teresa's and Pam's were not up there. They asked me to not put their salaries up there. I mean, they are public. Anybody can go look at them, but both of them are in the approximate 52 to 55,000 range, and would like to be bumped up to like 55, 58. Okay. And also, I want to say, I 100% agree with Commissioner Thatcher. It's our tax base, and I fully know that, and I understand that, and that is not lost on me. Again, I want to predicate this with a lot of the individuals that work for Butte-Silver County are part of unions, and I wasn't there when the clerks in my office or when the legal secretaries in my office decided to go non-union, and the attorneys are obviously non-union, but I'm their voice, and so they don't have someone else in the room fighting for them outside of me in the budgetary process, and I just wanted to make that clear. That's the budget is not lost on me. The tax dollars are not lost on me. This is me standing up for my office, for the people that work in it, because they asked me to, and I think that that's important, and I think that it's a major part of my job, and if I didn't do it, I don't think I deserve to be there.
Thank you, County Attorney Enruth. Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Thank you, County Attorney Enruth. I agree with everything you said, and I agree the tax base is lower and everything, but we've got to come to the table. The county's losing a lot of good employees. I mean, we've lost the ADA, James Olette. We've lost people retiring, people taking new jobs. I know it's going to sound bad, but maybe if we got to raise the taxes a little bit, we got to raise the taxes a little bit, because we need these positions. And county employees are not making the money that young people want to make today. they're not looking for benefits like the county offers a great benefit package. But young people are not looking for a benefit package that they can get in 20 years. They're looking for how much do I get this week or the end of the month. That's what they're looking for. In the county attorney's office, these people have tenure. They've been there. So, I mean, I don't know how we go about it. I think it has to do more with the chief executives and the council commissioners and, the budget process and things like that. But I think everyone in the county, 550 employees in the county, all deserve a little bit of an increase. And if they're union, they got their bargaining unit. I appreciate you coming up here and speaking for your people. I mean, we as commissioners always say we should get a raise too. We're not there, but we're public servants, You people are serving in a capacity that's going to help the county a lot. And everybody in town is always talking about the vagrants. They're not prosecuting. They're not doing this. Well, it's pretty hard to do when you don't have the staff to do it. And I know the people you're talking about, most of them I've dealt with in some form or another. And I'm telling you, they're good people, and we should find a way to find the money to keep the people we have in this county working. And that means everyone throughout the county, from the treasurer's office, the clerk and recorder's office, the county attorney's office. If we got to raise the taxes a few bucks on everybody in town, so be it. Let's do it and get these people retained and happy and get motivated to make our county a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Fisher. Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. County Attorney Enruth, just a follow-up. I'm looking at the budget book, and from personnel standpoint for the county attorney, I show one chief deputy county attorney,
Correct.
a county attorney,
Yes.
and 6 deputy county attorneys,
Yes.
and then 5 legal assistants.
Yes.
So there's more than the 2 that we were talking about in the slide, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was just confused at. I thought there was only the 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Morgan. Is there any other questions of commissioners? Seeing none. Thanks, County Attorney Enruth. We have discussed this, and truthfully, we've had good discussions with County Attorney Enruth. This is not an argument discussion that we've had. We've really had really good discussions about this, and it is we want to be fair to our employees, but it's a tough discussion because it's also a taxpayer discussion. And Commissioner Fisher, to your point, but we also, there's other times as we were sitting up here, we got to answer to the taxpayers too. But thank you.
And I would just like to add, with regards to that, Chief Executive Gallagher and Director Hassler have been fantastic with my budget. We have asked for some pretty heavy lifts, and they have been right there for it. We are one of the only counties that did not have secure warrant when I came in here. I mean, Anaconda had secure warrant. This is a program that allows officers to directly interface with judges rather than having to call on county attorneys to do warrants on the weekends. This is one of the things that we implemented, and we're being trained on to take some of that workload off of them. His office and Director Hassler's office have been fantastic about that. The girls wanted new desks. They got new desks. We needed a printer that had sorting on it because we printed so much paper they got thrown away. I was upset, and these were all things that they weren't even blinked at. They helped with 100%. So I want to make that very clear, that this is not an argument. This is not me being upset with Chief Executive Gallagher or the budget process. It's me standing up for the people that work in my office, because that's my job, and those are the people that I need to take care of.
Yeah. Thank you, County Attorney Enruth. All right, moving on. Section 2, consent agenda, A1 through 4 and B1 through, so I gotta look through. One through 27. Do we have any friendly amendments and/or segregations? Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I would like to segregate item number 24, Communication 2026-351.
That's item number 24. Communication number 2026-351. Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chief Executive. I would like to segregate communication number 19, 2026-346.
That's item number 19. Communication number 2026-346.
And also number 22, 2026-349.
That's Item number 22, communication number 2026-349. Are there any other friendly amendments and/or segregations? Seeing none, Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, I make a motion that we approve Section 2, the consent agenda, A, the committee reports 1 through 4, B, communications 1 through 27, with the exclusions of number 19, 2026-346, number 22, 2026-349, and number 24, 2026-351.
We have a motion and a second to approve tonight's consent agenda. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
12 yea, 0 nay.
12 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving to item number 19, communication number 2026-346, Angie Mulligan, Public Works Budget Manager, requesting Council Commissioners authorization to have Chief Executive Gallagher sign an agreement with MRDP for the flow release from the Silver Lake water system into the Clark Fork River, which will occur between July 6th through August 20th, 2026. Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. No problem with this. I guess my question is, with all the rainfall and the flooding going on along the Clark Fork and starting to release water from Silver Lake down to the Clark Fork on July 6th, it seems like it's a little early to start releasing water down the Clark Fork when we might have to release water later than August 20th, which is the end date. So I just wonder if somebody could give me some more thought on that than I have, because I'm not really intelligent. I did see Mr. Keenan here, so I thought he could help me. Thank you.
Commissioner Fisher, welcome water plant operator, Mr. Keenan.
Mr. Chief Executive, Mr.
Manager. Oh, yeah, the mic is not on. There you go. There you go.
Mr. Chief Executive, Mr. Fisher, I got a call this afternoon from the gentleman at NRDP that's going to be signing that agreement, asking if we can postpone it for a little while. So I think the master services agreement that this body approved a couple of months ago now allows for that adjustment in the start date and the end date. So I think that you're exactly right. I think they're going to be asking us to postpone for a week or so until things kind of normalize and dry out again. I think the important part is that 45 days that they're going to be looking for and the total volume released.
Thank you, Mr. Keenan. Follow-up, Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Thank you, Mr. Keenan. I appreciate that. So with that being said, I would make a motion to concur and place on file communication 2026-346. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second to concur and place on file communication number 2026-346. Is there anything on the question? Oh, Commissioner Callahan.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Mr. Keenan, I guess my next question for you would be, say, and we know this won't happen, just in case it does happen, we have a wet summer. Would they use all the water allocated, or would they be similar to MRI and just use what they feel is necessary?
Commissioner Callahan, Mr. Keenan.
Mr. Chief Executive, Mr. Callahan, I think they're going to use all that water, I think just based on the way stream flows have generally been recent years and probably what the forecast is looking like. I think that we're having this wet period, but I think it's pretty safe to say that they're going to be using all of that water that they've requested in this agreement. If they didn't need it and they decided they wanted to change their mind, I don't know. That'd be a question for the county attorney's office or something, I guess, on whether or not they can get out of the contract.
Mr. Keenan and also Commissioner Callahan, I think that under mutual agreement, they could say that they don't need the water, and we could, shut the pumps off under mutual agreement. We could do that, but I think they're projecting, and the projection is that they would just request that the days be to extend them. Okay. And so I would project that they're going to ask for that water throughout the fall if we have a wet summer.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner O'Leary.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Mr. Keenan, while you're up here, I don't know if you know this number right off the top of your head, just for the general public, because we talk about Silver Lake all the time with various things happening. The total in the contract is 2,856 acre feet maximum. Can you convert that to millions of gallons of water? Or do you know that number?
Commissioner O'Leary, Mr. Keenan.
Mr. Chief Executive, Commissioner O'Leary, 325,851 gallons per acre foot. So if you multiply, I can do the math really quick if you want, but yeah, that's the conversion.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Keenan. Is there any other questions of commissioners? Yeah. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20 million gallons a day.
20 million gallons a day.
Yeah, is what we will be releasing. So as we've talked about that many times, is that we will be releasing about 20 million gallons a day that we release down in the Clark Fork when we're doing in this agreement. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Keenan, for your help. Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
12 yea, 0 nay.
12 yea, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to item number 22, communication number 2026-349, Angie Mulligan, Public Works Budget Manager, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization to have Chief Executive Gallagher sign an agreement with D&M Builders for the 2026 miscellaneous concrete project. Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Once again, really no problem with this, but it is close to $500,000, and I'm not very good at reading contracts. As I read through this, I'm a little concerned about how it goes and whether they're being paid per sidewalk and whose sidewalk's getting done and where sidewalks are getting done. The contract's kind of vague for a $500,000 contract, and we got a sidewalk program in town this summer. People put on their taxes, and I'm just a little, I guess, confused about how this works for $500,000. That's a lot of sidewalks.
Commissioner Fisher, I think we have Zane Gleason here that maybe could help us answer the question here. Welcome, Mr. Gleason.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Fisher. This isn't really related to the actual sidewalk programs. This is a project from a Superfund capital improvement project, similar to the Mullen, I think, Street we did last year or 2 years ago. A lot of this is actually just curbing, and it's around Butte-Silver and some of those lots up on Missoula Street. And it's to help keep all the sediment off of there. And then we're going to run, we were planning originally to run curb down towards like a Missoula ball field, but it's not really going to work with all those houses there. So we'll be adding more like stormwater infrastructure for that area. So there's more storm piping material rather than curbing for this project.
Follow-up, Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Thank you, Director Gleason. Yeah, it's just a lot of money for not knowing, where this concrete's going or what's happening with it. I mean, is it bill like an engineer tells you what projects you're going to do, and then you pay the guy to go do it, and he tells you how much the bill is, or is it an open-end contract? I mean, I'm just confused. I mean, I'd need a little assistance here before I spent $499,000 on concrete to see where it's going. I mean, I know it's expensive, but that's a lot of money.
Commissioner Fisher, Mr. Gleason.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Fisher. When we first started this project, Public Works, Reclamation Department, our Budget Department, and WET, who was the engineer for this project, all got together. And we've been looking at this area for a while because of all the sediment that is coming out onto the street that we don't want going in the drains. And that's how we picked this area.
So I think it was kind of a volume that was estimated out. So like when an engineer estimate, and that's kind of what the volume was put into this for the bid on this document. So I think that's kind of how it was estimated out, and that's how that was bid out. Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. So I guess I'm curious, do we know how many yards of concrete we're going to be purchasing and what the labor is? Is that materials and labor, or how's the contract? I'm just totally confused on this because I think Commissioner Callahan asked that question to Mr. Neary last time we were here, and he just said, and the contract just says miscellaneous concrete,
Yeah.
I know concrete's expensive, but curbing's different, but it just seems to be open-ended to me, and hopefully we'll get some type of report as this goes. I mean, I know it's not local taxpayer money, but it's $500,000. I mean, curious.
Commissioner Fisher, and I guess this not so much to Mr. Gleason. I think we can ask for a report of how much is used. Give us a project report of what has been done, and report back to the commission on this. So that's the ask of this. Commissioner O'Leary.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Mr. Gleason, it's been a hot minute here since we looked at this originally, but was there an RFP with all of that was put out with all of these separate areas where the concrete is going originally?
Commissioner O'Leary, Mr. Gleason.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner O'Leary. Yes, there was to select the engineering firm, and then this whole project did go out for bid. So to Commissioner Fisher's question too, there is a number of yards of concrete that we have and piping material. I just don't know it off the top of my head, but it was all in the bid package when it was sent out.
Thank you. Commissioner Callahan.
Thank you, Chief Executive. Mr. Gleason, please tell me that we're not digging up Missoula Street again. We just paved that a couple years ago.
Commissioner Callahan, Mr. Gleason.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Callahan, there will be a small section from a patch on Missoula Street for the storm material, and then for the sections for certain curbing, there will be a 2 feet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Commissioner Fisher, do you want to?
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. I'm still a bit, I really am concerned about these contracts that don't have all this in it, but I will make a motion at this time to concur and place on file communication 2026349, hoping that we get a report on this with a little more value to show
What was completed?
us and our constituents. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to concur and place on file communication number 2026-349. Is there anything else on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
12 yeas, 0 nay.
12 yeas, 0 nay. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 24, communication number 2026-351. Stephanie Johnson, Butte-Silver Bow Library Director, requesting council commissioners to approve a grant award in the amount of $39,000 for the Butte-Silver Bow Public Library installation of solar array panels on the upper library roof. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I wanted to segregate this because it sounds like the match has been identified, and it was not included in the letter, so I was hoping that Director Hassler and Director Johnson could let us know where the match is, and I understand that this has a deadline prior to our next meeting, so a little bit of urgency here.
Director Hassler and Director Johnson, if you'd like to come forward.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Commissioner Shea, the match that has been identified is a grant contribution that comes from the state of Montana. This past year, that contribution was $15,000. They also have additional contributed funds that come from sales, book sales, and different revenue sources that they bring in that goes into a grant fund. It's roughly, I want to say their budget is roughly around $50,000 a year, which that state contribution is part of, and so there is sufficient funding there with the state contribution and then the additional contributed funds to make the match for this project.
Okay. And I don't know if Director Johnson, if you would like to add anything to this.
Thank you very much. I have nothing to add. She said it beautifully.
She nailed it. Okay. Thank you. All right, Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. The reason that I referred this to the Finance and Budget Committee was just to verify the match, because I believe the week before when you were here, you mentioned that there was a match requirement, but I didn't see it in the actual letter. And so I wanted to make sure that we had that match covered. So that was the intent of moving it to Finance and Budget. Since then, sounds like we have a match. So I'm done.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive, and thank you, Chairman Morgan, for doing your due diligence. I do appreciate it. At this time, I will make a motion to concur and place on file communication number 2026-351.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to concur and place on file communication number 2026-351. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
12 yea, 0 nay.
12 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to section 3, communications to be read and acted upon. First one is communication number 2026-344. Kelly Sullivan, BLDC Executive Director, requesting Council of Commissioners concurrence with BLDC Loan Committee decision to extend the Praxis Center current loan and interest-only payments to July 1, 2027. Welcome, Director Sullivan.
Good evening. Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. I'll just add a few comments here, and these were in the communication I sent in. Council's interest in this action lies with the Anaconda Arco portion of the loan, which comprises $221,959 of the total amount lent of $881,937. Monthly interest-only payments are in the amount of $3,600 and change, and this borrower has never missed a payment.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. Is there any questions for Ms. Sullivan? Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. Appreciate you being here. As you know, I am all for the Praxis Center, but I don't think the interest only of $36.74.74 per month is doing as much good. I think we need something to go to the principal. So I think there should be at least $1,500 a month to go to the principal, because we're not gaining anything over the years by just paying interest on this loan. The $221,959 will remain the same, but if we got $1,500 a month for 1 year, which the extension is requesting, that would give us a little bit of money to pay down the principal a little bit, should things not expedite as fast as they're going right now. Any other questions? I ask the council to intervene, please.
Thank you, Commissioner Fisher. Is there any other? Commissioner O'Neill.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Commissioner Fisher, I do say where you're going to, but in theory, you know, I have my hesitations. I state that when the Praxis is built, I said naked, but I'm just going to say I'll run through there in my underwear. And I don't mean that disrespectfully of Mr. Rogers either, but I'm hopeful that it will go on someday. So if it's maybe next year is there, but on the other side, we're still making interest, right? We're getting our, you know, we're still making money. The payments are they're timely. We're not losing anything. So, you know, I don't love it, but also we're still okay at this time. You know, I haven't heard anybody looking to purchase the property to build anything else on there. I don't, you know, but just in discussion.
Okay. Commissioner Healy.
Thank you, Chief Executive. How many extensions have been given?
Commissioner, you're asking directly. Yeah. Commissioner Healy, Director Sullivan.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Healy. I can't speak to the exact number, but I can get that number for you. I'm sorry, I don't know. It's been 2 or 3, I believe.
Okay. Follow up, Commissioner Healy.
And thank you. And how many years has this been going on?
Commissioner Healy, Director Sullivan.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Healy. The money was borrowed either in April or I believe it might have been May of 2022.
Okay. Any other questions of commissioners? Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate all you do. I'm just, a project of this size, a project of this size and the term that they've been on, I mean, if they can't come up with the $1,500 to pay a little bit in principal, or even $1,000 a month in principal, it's making the people in the community a little bit leery of what's happening. And my constituents are asking, where's this thing going? I mean, I've been all for it. I mean, when they needed the $750,000 backstop from the SARTA fund, I was there. I met with them and stuff. I'm all for the Praxis Center. But I mean, if you can't pay a little bit into the principal, I mean, I don't know any bank or credit union in the world that would just let you to pay interest on a loan of this, $221,000, $222,000 almost on the ARCO fund is us. But I mean, there's still a lot of outstanding debt there, and I think I'm just trying to protect that Anaconda ARCO fund a little bit in case something happens down the road. I mean, when it's gone, it's gone. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Fisher. Any other? Commissioner Callahan first. And then.
Thank you, Chief Executive. Just a comment to that. That's a revolving fund. So when they pay it off, they turn around and loan it back out. Is that not true? So as long as they're making interest, what difference does it make if they're making the interest or they loan it to somebody else and they make the interest? The fund is still making the same amount of money. They're just asking to hold it over another year so they can get this project up and running. They're not really asking for that much. And if you look back, there's a lot of loans out there people are just paying interest on to keep afloat before they pull the loan from them. So this isn't that unusual. The Praxis Center, when it goes, is going to be a huge thing for the Butte and our economy and jobs, and to float them another year on interest only, from what I understand, they've never been late on a payment, they've never missed a payment. To even question this right now is crazy to me. I mean, these people are trying to invest something in our community that we've never had, and when it does go, it'll be a huge for our community. You're talking spending money. How much money did we spend to go see that Praxis Center? And that was taxpayers' money, and we didn't hesitate to do that. So, or not the Praxis Center, the data center, I mean. So this is a good thing. Ray and his partners have worked really hard on this project. They've run into some bumps in the road. Sounds to me like their project's moving forward fairly well. They got some more things going on that are even going to make it better than original. So as long as they're making their payments on their loan, I believe that there's 400 and some thousand in that fund right now, so it's not holding money up from some other project, from what I understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Callahan. Commissioner Morgan, and then.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I guess I have a couple of questions. I see Mr. Rogers is in the audience. One, I'm curious, why is this extension needed? Like, what's the status of the project? Why is it needed? To date, has all of that money been handed over? And so what happened to that money? I guess if you can even disclose that. And 2 or 3, just where are we at on the project? That's what I'm curious about.
Commissioner Morgan, and so would you like,
whoever can
Ray,
answer.
would you like to come up and kind of address Commissioner Morgan? Welcome, Mr. Rogers.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher and members of the Commission. If you don't mind, I do have some prepared remarks that I'd like to make that might help to answer some of your questions. Thank you for the opportunity to speak before you this evening. For the record, my name is Ray Rogers. I'm the founder and CEO of the Praxis Center, and I reside at 100 East Broadway here in Butte. I'm here tonight to request approval of an extension of the Anaconda ARCO portion of the BLDC loan that we used to acquire the land for the Praxis Center. And this really is a very straightforward request. Praxis has remained current on all loan obligations since the inception of this loan with the BLDC. We've never missed a loan payment, and we continue to make all required interest payments on this loan. The portion of the loan under the jurisdiction of the Council of Commissioners is $221,959. At a 5% annual interest rate, that generates approximately $11,097 in interest annually that goes back into the Anaconda ARCO revolving loan fund. And the loan presents very little risk to Butte-Silver Bow because the land itself is the collateral for the loan. And as Commissioner Callahan stated, the only way these loans make money is off of interest. So as long as we're making interest payments, that's the most that fund is ever going to make. And we're consistent. We never miss any of our loan payments. Tonight, we're not requesting forgiveness of the principal or interest. We're not requesting any additional financial resources from Butte-Silver Bow. And importantly, we're not requesting approval of the Praxis Center. The Praxis Center is an independent corporation. We are simply requesting an extension on our existing loan with the Butte Local Development Corporation to provide additional time to complete the financing process while continuing to make these interest payments. The BLDC Loan Committee, which is responsible for the Anaconda Arco Loan Fund, has reviewed our request and has recommended an extension through June 30th of 2027. The only remaining action needed is the approval of the Anaconda Arco portion of the loan by this commission. Some questions that you may have are, why is the project taking longer than anticipated? What gives us confidence that financing can be completed? And what happens if this extension is granted? As you know, like many large and complex development projects, the financing for the Praxis Center has taken longer than we originally projected. During that time, we've continued to move the project forward by acquiring the property, completing all of the architectural and engineering design and development work, finalizing a very long and significant progress with the USDA and the Montana Historic Preservation Office. We've conducted a national feasibility study. We completed an archaeological study of all of our property. We completed a visual impact study on the site, including all historic properties in Uptown Butte that have a view shed onto the Praxis property. We've continued to build national partnerships around this project, including with the U.S. military, and we've assembled an experienced financing team for this project. We've engaged a company, HM Capital of Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is a nationally recognized firm that specializes in structuring and closing projects of this size and complexity. And today we have most of the capital stack identified and are working through the final steps necessary to close on our financing. Most importantly, granting this extension does not increase the county's risk, and we're not, again, seeking any additional funding. As I previously stated, the loan remains fully secured by the land as collateral. Interest payments continue to be made, and the extension simply provides us additional time to complete the financing process and ultimately repay that loan in full. The details of our financing package are confidential. I'm not able to disclose the details of that tonight. But commissioners, I understand that projects of this magnitude require patience and persistence. I know that there's some project fatigue in this community associated with the Praxis Center. But the Praxis Center remains a very viable project with significant economic potential and benefit for Butte-Silver Bow and rural health care providers across the nation. Today, however, I'm not asking you to approve of Praxis, the project itself. I'm simply asking for additional time to complete the financing process for a loan that remains current and in good standing. The interest paid by Praxis on an annual basis is $11,097, and that goes right back into the Anaconda Arco revolving loan fund, which has a balance of $450,000+. If approved, we'll continue to make those interest payments, which will allow us to continue to move this project forward. And I respectfully request approval of the extension of the Anaconda Arco portion of the loan, and I'm pleased to answer any questions that you may have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. I want to add that Ray has invited me to multiple different meetings that he has been with multiple different agencies, and he's continuing to work. And I can rest assured that the council that is happening, and that he's continuing to move this project forward, that he's not sitting waiting for things to happen. Things are continuing to happen. So from that aspect, I can tell you that things are progressing and those things are happening. Again, a lot of that is confidential, and I'm not at liberty to disclose the things that he can't say either. But I've been invited to some of those meetings, and there are things that are still continuing to happen with this project. So there is progress on some of the stuff that's happening. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. Commissioner O'Leary, and then I'll go back to Commissioner Healy.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Thank you, Ray, for coming up here and having a conversation with us. Just a small clarification. You were talking about the loan being secured by the property. Just want to clarify, that is the property bounded by Park, Galena, Wyoming, and Arizona, correct?
Commissioner O'Leary, Mr. Rogers.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner O'Leary, in addition to that land, it also includes the property on the northeast corner of Mercury in Arizona as well, which is three other parcels that Praxis owns as well.
Thank you. Commissioner Healy.
Thank you, Chief Executive. I think I just want to make more of a statement, because most of the stuff I say or have anything to do with this comes from my constituents or citizens. And what they see as progress is, they see a park with weeds and broken concrete, and they're looking for progress as when are things going to move forward. And all they hear is us giving you extensions. And so there is concern, in the public, that this thing is ever going to take off, and then what's going to happen. So I want to say that out loud, because I've had so many constituents or citizens ask me about the Praxis and why do we continue to give you extensions when, again, the progress is what they see. I'm not saying me, is what they see, and they don't see progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Healy. Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Ray, thank you. You know I'm fully supportive of the Praxis Center. I just have one more question here. So the interest only is $36.74.74. You mentioned that 11,000 of that is at the ARCO interest portion, and the other 2,500 is the other interest part, or? I'm a little confused with the interest only $36.74.74, and then the 11,000, is that just the ARCO fund?
Commissioner Fisher, and Mr. Rogers. Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Fisher. I think the confusion is the difference between monthly payments on the entire loan and what we're paying off on an annual basis on the Anaconda ARCO loan fund. So our monthly loan payments for the whole loan are $36.74.74. Annually, and monthly we're paying $924 to the ARCO loan fund. Annualized, that's $11,097 annually.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Executive.
Thank you. Any other questions of commissioners? Okay. Commissioner Gerbrandt.
Thank you, Chief Executive. Ray, a question for you, and actually it's a question that was asked earlier, which is that $222,000. Where is that? Is that in a bank? Is it invested in the land? Is it paying salaries?
Commissioner Gerbrandt, Mr. Rogers.
Yes, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Gerbrandt. Yes, that money was utilized to purchase all of the property for the Praxis Center, and there's also a $120,000 interest reserve that's a part of that loan package as well.
Okay. Any other questions? Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Just more of a comment. I think it was Director Burns that said one time that people want to see shovels in the ground, and they assume nothing's happening until they see a shovel in the ground, and it's just not true. So I just want to remind everybody, we all want to see the shovels in the ground. Being very involved with rural health care outside of this role, there's a huge benefit to what the Praxis Center will bring, especially and specifically to healthcare in Butte, Montana. So not only other places, but it will be really, really valuable for all of the health clinics around here. So I just wanted to kind of just say that. I think that I trust that you're moving forward. I think if you weren't moving forward, you probably wouldn't be making payments. We might be up here getting excuses, but we're not getting any of that. So hopeful that the ball starts rolling a little faster, because I do have people ask me questions every now and then as well. So you know the drill. We all know the drill. This is what happens with a large development. So
That's right.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Mr. Rogers, thank you for being here. I support this. Commissioner Callahan alluded to a lot of good points. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to concur and place on file communication number 2026-344.
We have a motion and a second to concur and place on file communication number 2026-344. Is there anything else on the question? Commissioner O'Leary.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. This is kind of following Commissioner Shea here. I'll just make the pitch that I spent the afternoon pulling a bunch of weeds on an empty lot in Uptown Butte, and I know we have this problem, all over Uptown Butte, but your lot there is a really important central lot in Uptown Butte. The Folk Fest is coming up. Big important thing for our city. So I haven't been by your lot in a hot minute, but if it needs any weed whacking or mowing, I would advocate for that. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Leary. Any other questions or comments for the commissioners? Seeing none, could commissioners please vote? Commissioner Thatcher? Do you want to give a thumbs? It's not working? Okay. And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 3 nay.
9 yea, 3 nay. Motion passes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 2, communication number 2026-352. Bill Markovich, Granite Peak Apartments, co-manager, requesting council commissioners for a time on the July 1st, 2026 agenda to conduct a presentation and consider a letter of support from Butte-Silver for Granite Peak Apartments in Butte, Montana. Welcome, Mr. Markovich.
Chief Executive, council members, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. I am here representing Markovich Development, which is co-owned by myself and my wife, Sydney, in the audience. And we are here to announce that we are developing a Granite Peak. Granite Peak is a 48-unit senior citizens affordable housing project. There are no other dogs in this fight. If we don't go
Can
after...
you pull the mic closer to you, Bill?
If we don't go after this funds, there are no other opportunities for this community with anyone else trying to secure these funds. Granite Peak is a 2-story, 48-unit seniors facility. 2-bedroom, 24 units, 1-bedroom, 24 units. This is being developed at the end of Elizabeth Warren, south of there we go. The far blue, orange, purple, and yellow, everything to the right 2/3 has already been developed. We made a presentation to Montana Board of Housing recently, and one of the impressions that was so positive in their response, we survived the first round of reducing the applicants. We are now in the final round. The campus that's been developed over the last 2+ decades is the only campus of affordable housing in the state of Montana. Communities all over Montana have affordable housing. There's one here and one here and one there. This is a cohesive campus that's been very well received. If you haven't been through it recently, take a ride through it. Go in one side, come out the other side. It's landscaped. There's the children's playground equipment. The entire project has sidewalks installed for people walking. It's a really quality project. That site in its entirety is 6+ acres. 2/3 of that site that's already developed has more than 200 affordable housing apartments. That's more than 600 people. That's 600 souls in Butte that have quality living already in place. What we're trying to do is make the next step, next to the last step, to build the seniors green facility on top on the left-hand side. The last step would be the 4 eightplexes that match the existing eightplexes we recently built a few years ago. It's a quality place to live, okay? There are families, singles, seniors, couples. It's just a great place to live. We are short of affordable housing units in Butte. When we built the orange units, we moved people into them one building at a time. We were literally moving, sweeping units out, moving people in, finishing the next building, There were a lot of people that needed the housing. This need continues. The existing purple seniors facility has a 1% vacancy rate. It's been there for, and Tom can tell us how long, 12 years, 10 years? It's the time lost to turn the unit from one person to the next person on that 1%. Today was a typical day. We're trying to get the project shovel ready and go forward. We had meetings today with architects, engineers, surveyors, key contractors. We had a neighborhood meeting in which not one person showed up at that meeting. Everyone was invited, including all the tenants. And my wife was at the door welcoming people. She said, no one must be upset with their apartment. No one showed up for concerns. Everyone was there in support of the project. We need your support. We need a letter of support from council. We are competing against every major community. Other major communities donate money into this that they get from the Department of Commerce, but they all have 50,000 citizens and more. We don't. We don't get those fees, okay? So we are doing our best to represent this project and secure the Board of Housing tax credits to allow this project to go forward. It costs Butte-Silver not one nickel, okay? And it's just a great project. I've testified in front of this group, and your predecessors Dan's been around, okay, for multiple decades. And I appreciate your time. I've never failed to perform on a project. We are full partners with Thomas Development on this project, Sid and I. We have worked with Thomas Development for more than 2 decades on 11 or 12 projects on affordable housing. We've built affordable housing for Thomas Development and others around the state. Tom and I have projects in 2 states. We've never failed to execute on any of the projects we've brought before you, asking for your support or permission in some cases in the form of variances to build projects. We have a lot of quality projects. This is going to be another one of those quality projects. Granite Peak will add to the value of our community for people. And you know, there's no one else going after this award. We're there, we're in the fight. We're swimming upstream. There's no doubt about it. And so I'm here to personally ask you to support us in a letter of support that we will assist you with to fall between the lines of what the Board of Housing is expecting, okay? Does anybody have any questions for me?
Thank you, Mr. Markovich. Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Mr. Markovich, I can't agree with you more in the need of affordable housing in this community for sure, and how this project has kind of morphed over multiple years, you know, even during my tenure here at the council. The one question that I know you can't really answer, but it seems like building these projects is the best part, and they get built and they look nice and everything is on, you know, the up and up. And then we like ran into it with the Atherton apartments, where over time they start to degrade, and there's really not a mechanism to keep them built up to a high standard. And I don't know if that was when like you came back in and then you guys reinvested and got those cleaned up, It might have been this one. But how do we keep that from happening to this development so that we're not in that same boat?
I'll let Tom Mantrick,
Sure.
the owner of Atherton, answer that question.
Yeah.
Commissioner Morgan, Tom, welcome.
We're going to probably ham and egg it here a little bit for you. Tom Mantrack, Thomas Development, support everything that Mr. Markovich said, and
Can we have you pull the mic to you? Yeah, there we go.
very good. Tom Mantrack, Thomas Development, support everything that Mr. Markovich said. We being Thomas Development, started building affordable housing in 1990 and built here and there and everywhere, and came to Butte, Montana in about 1996, I think, and met Jack Burke. And Jack Burke said, you need to go talk to Bud Maffei because he'll do your title work for you, and you need to go talk to Bill Markovich because he'll be your contractor. And this is, I've been like 3 minutes with this guy, and if those of you who remember Jack, that's exactly the way he talked. Great advice. Bill and Sydney have been very good friends. We're now partners in this transaction, and we have worked and marched from the south to the north. To your point, Commissioner Morgan, in 2006, a company from Newport Beach, California, approached Thomas Development. In that time, we owned, 1,500 apartment units, something like that. They made us an unsolicited offer to buy essentially everything that we owned. They were moving, this is sort of in the pre-real estate investment trust era, and they were going to take these properties to Wall Street, sort of the analog of the mortgage meltdown, single-family mortgage meltdown, and they just purchased, months before we sold to them, about 10,000 units from another company, and they summarily, they bought from us in Idaho and Montana and Nevada. And within months, Montana Board of Housing called me and said, who in the H are these people? They bought Atherton in Butte and Castle Bar in Bozeman. Who are these people? They don't know what they're doing. That transaction occurred in September of 2006. The properties went summarily into the ground, both in Montana and in Idaho. And we and another developer who's a good friend of mine have purchased most of those properties back. We bought Atherton back in about 2017, something like that. And I mean, the concrete was falling apart. I mean, it looked like heck. It absolutely looked horrible. I was embarrassed. We came in, we fixed it. We got some CDBG money last year to finish re-roofing, to start redoing the siding on buildings that are now about 30 years old. So yes, there was about a 10-year hiatus where that which Barbara and I started with Bill and Sydney's assistance back in 1998, 99 when we built Atherton Phase 1, we weren't involved anymore and the places looked like heck. We bought them back. I would echo what Mr. Markovich said, drive through, talk to our residents. We were there most of the day, and we've got 204 units there, 72 of which are senior, and 132 are family. And you see there's kids out playing, and you know, old people are watching them play, and it's truly about a 500 or 600 little community inside Butte-Silver Bow itself. We have had, other than that 10-year hiatus, but for all of the years that we have owned both the family and the senior, our year after year after year vacancy on the seniors is about 1 to 1.5%, and on the families they're about 3%. Let me address a little bit what is unique and frankly very strange about the way Montana Board of Housing allocates the low-income housing tax credit resource. Without going deeply into the weeds on what that involves, it's a federal credit that is allocated by state housing agencies pursuant to what's called a qualified allocation plan. Section 42 of the Internal Revenue Code basically says you build safe, decent, sanitary, affordable housing that you rent for people who make 60% or less area median income for a period of 15 years. That's what the law says. And then each state has the ability to put their own social engineering on that allocation. Montana has chosen, and they are unique in the 51 state housing agencies, including Puerto Rico, of not having an objective, measurable, quantitative way to score applications. If you look at the qualified allocation plan, if you meet an economic threshold, which is a cost per unit, construction cost, and your proposed financing produces a satisfactory debt service coverage ratio, everybody's the same. Every application that comes in, it looks exactly the same. And so the board gets the opportunity to say, well, we really like this, and we really don't like that. And what's happened over the last several years, and the data is very easy to mine, and we've done that, is that the Billings and the Missoulas and the Kalispells and the Great Falls, all of which, is in a previous discussion, are cities of over 50,000 people. And Ms. Burns has told us we'd love to help you in Butte-Silver, but we just don't have the money. So those cities which have gotten far and away most of the allocations of this resource over the last 10 years do two things. One is they will contribute $25,000 or $50,000. The other is, and this is the way Montana Board of Housing does things, has been sharply criticized by the state legislature audit branch for the subjectivity. Because you go to the meetings and you don't have any idea. You know, you do this in other states, you go, I've got 165 out of 170 points, I'm going to fund. No idea in Montana. So what came out of the meeting that Mr. Markovich mentioned, the letter of intent beauty contest round, I call it, is you go from that round to the hard applications, which are due on August 3rd. The comments from the board, Montana Board of Housing Board, were, we really like the campus that your team has developed in Butte over the years, which is great, and we want to continue to develop that campus. The other thing that was very, very central to what Montana Board of Housing asked, not just our development team, but everybody, and there was a shovel-ready discussion that I think occurred on the last item that was on your agenda. These resources are finite, and if the states don't, Montana Board of Housing doesn't get this tax credit resource allocated and used, shovel in the ground, that resource reverts to a national pool. And state housing agencies don't like to lose credits to national pools because it makes them look bad with their friends at the national conventions. So the concept of being shovel ready was really, really important in this year's letter of intent round. So what we've done as a development team is not just coming before you and saying, please send us a letter which says, we like what you've done, please do more. I'm being a little dismissive here, but some letters you get from some permitting jurisdictions, that's what they look like. What Montana Board of Housing wants is, you own the land, you're zoned, you have spent a lot of money on existing infrastructure for catching the stormwater coming off the side of the hill on the other side of the freeway. You have done this, you've done that, you've done the other thing. We had 3 of your department heads on site with us today with Mr. Markovich, Ms. Markovich, architect, civil engineer, surveyor, and Rick Hoffman of Hoffman Excavation. What we need to do to make that, the way we differentiate ourselves is either get money from Butte-Silver, but we're not even asking. So we need a really, really good, detailed, you folks, we like what you've done so far. This is what we've seen you have done on this due diligence, getting ready to submit the Granite Peak application in hopes that it funds. And we're certainly not committing, we're not saying that you're shovel ready. We're not saying that you're permit ready because you haven't turned your permits in. But look, we acknowledge and appreciate that you own the land, that it's owned. You put in the storm sewer, you put in the domestic water, you put in the sanitary sewer, you've extended Elizabeth Warren up, you've spoken with the fire department on how we do emergency vehicle access. That's what Montana Board of Housing is looking for. That's how Butte-Silver Bow can distinguish ourselves in this beauty contest, which is really what it is, with Montana Board of Housing. So that's the purpose for being here tonight. Happy to answer any questions that Mr. Markovich has.
Any other questions of commissioners? Commissioner O'Leary.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Thank you both for being here and for the presentation. It sounds like a good project, and I can definitely attest that there is a deep need for additional housing in Butte. It's a very big problem for us. But one question for you is, the income-driven portion of these projects, are all of the apartments still income-driven, or have some of them sunsetted? And then additionally, can you just talk about how you would like us to go about the letter process? Give us a
Certainly.
little more detail on how that would, how
Mr.
you imagine
Larry,
that.
Chief
transition.
Executive Gallagher, let
Commissioner
me
O'Leary.
address, there's a couple of asks in your question. In the first one, which is a very legitimate ask from a permitting jurisdiction, which is the word we use in our industry, is the income and rent restrictions on these developments last for a period of 40 years. And this is a recorded, it's like covenants, conditions, and restrictions on a subdivision. This is a recorded agreement that we sign with Montana Board of Housing, and it gets recorded before the first mortgage. So, God forbid we get foreclosed out, which hasn't happened and ain't gonna happen, the income and rent restrictions would remain in place. That's for a period of 40 years. We are required every year to submit to Montana Board of Housing a certificate of compliance that, in this case, all 48 units are rented to people who make 60% or less of area median income, that the rents are those that are published by HUD and approved by Montana Board of Housing. Montana Board of Housing is on site every single year to review files and do physical inspections. Additionally, the companies, the Montana Powers, if you will, who buy the tax credit equity, do their own compliance. And last but not least, I personally guarantee all this stuff. So the regulations that prevent mischief on, oh, we got the money, we built the thing, now we don't, who's going to care who we rent to? You lose the property if you approach this business that way. Montana Board of Housing and any other state agency will exercise that right under the first position. It's called a LURA, but it's the income and rent restriction that we agree to in writing as these developments start. Never happened to us, ain't gonna happen, but it could. It has happened to other developers before, but not us.
Thank you. Follow-up, Commissioner O'Leary.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. And then I guess the second question was, and maybe this is a question for Mr. Markovich, but as far as the letter goes, this is the first Wednesday of July. Looks like your application's due on the 3rd of August. We have one more full commission meeting on the 15th of July. So I imagine you're hoping that we will agree to do this evening, and then there will be some back and forth to draft the letter, and then a final approval from this body on the 15th. Is that kind of what you're imagining?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah.
We think we know what Montana Board of Housing wants. It's dangerous for me to say, by the way, but I think we do. And so we can put bullet points that and again, nothing we're trying to do is to paint BSB into a corner and say, well, yeah, we funded, and you said in this letter that everything was okay, so, how do I say that in words so it's on the record?
Thumb your nose
No,
at it.
we're very careful with language on this letter should not be construed to mean that we are approving this development for construction.
Right.
We would never, but we're happy to put some of those points that we think will differentiate Butte-Silver and garner a better chance for us to receive a funding award. October 20th, I believe, is the MBOH meeting.
And that's normal with a lot of times when we do letters of support that we help each other on those letters.
Yep.
But go ahead, Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I just want to talk about schedule really quick. So the next regular meeting that Commissioner O'Leary mentioned would be July 15th. So in order for us to take action on the 15th with any type of letter, you would have to submit a communication to this body with the language that you would ask that we review to put into a letter, would be on July 10th at 2 o'clock. Very similar to what you did to get on tonight's agenda with emailing it to our council secretary, Miss Barb. And so then we would be able to take action on it on the 15th, just so you know, Bill, and I can help you through that process.
Excellent, John. I'll take you up on that offer and make sure we don't stumble at all, and that is our full intent.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, on Commissioner Morgan.
So at this time, I guess the communication asks for a couple of things. It asks for a presentation and it asks for a letter of support. Obviously, we don't have the letter of support in front of us, so we're not going to adopt a letter of support that we don't know exactly what we're going to say in it. So I would make a motion that we place communication 2026-352 and consider writing a letter of support and await your response on that, if that makes sense. That's a
Okay. Okay.
okay.
So,
It's a choppy one.
I don't know what. Okay, we have a motion and a second. I'm not quite sure what the motion was, but okay, Commissioner Thatcher has a question.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Chairman Morgan, since the communication itself is just asking us to consider just a general letter of support, wouldn't it be appropriate for us to just concur and place on file this whole communication, since that's what it's already asking us, and then when they come with what they're coming with, then we can go for the full vote? So may I? Oh, he might have something.
Commissioner Morgan.
So on the question, Commissioner Thatcher, when you say the term concur, what are you concurring to? Because the presentation's been had.
Chief Executive.
Commissioner Morgan, Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. I'm concurring with the fact that we considered writing a letter of support, because I think that the discussion around here is the fact that we did consider it, and so now moving forward, they can come to us, and if not everybody on this body supports the letter, then at the time that the letter is drafted, then they can vote nay. But at this point, I think it's been considered to write a letter of support, and at the next motion, maybe county attorney might look at that differently, but that's what I think.
Good.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. So I believe that a motion to concur and hold this in the committee of the whole might be good, because then we could wait for the new communication with the letter and cross-reference it. That way we don't lose track of it. Going once.
Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Chairman Morgan. I'm sorry you two have to sit here and watch us figure this out, but I don't even know if we have to hold it in committee of the whole. I feel confident that they're coming with a letter. Mr. Markovich stated that they don't want to let us down on that. I don't think they want to be let down. So I would be confident that we concur and place on file this communication instead. But I will make that in the form of a substitute motion.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Like it.
So we have a substitute motion to concur and place on file communication number 2026-352. Is there anything else on the question? No. Okay. So could commissioners please vote? And we got a blank screen. Can you see on your screen though, Claire? Okay. Can you let us know? Okay, it's back up. Oh, he's got it. He's on. Okay. And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
12 yea, 0 nay.
12 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. So it's been approved that they've approved that the letter is, you can write the letter, have the correspondence back and forth, and then we'll have to have the letter sent in, and then they'll approve the final letter to be sent in.
Thank you, Chief Executive and all commissioners. John, I'll work this through you.
All right.
Confirm. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
It was an excellent lesson in parliamentary procedure, by the way. I was lost but impressed.
Yeah, thank you. Moving on to Section 4, Resolutions Ordinance introduced to Judiciary. We have one, Resolution Number 2026-33. Please note that. And moving on to calendar and other meetings and events. Please note dates and times of those. And we'll move on to any public comment on any item that is not on tonight's agenda. Mr. Frost.
Reddy Frost, 2000 Roberts Avenue. Happy 4th of July this weekend, and happy 250th to our nation. Butte, America, everybody. America. Thank you.
America. Thank you. All right. With that, I would take a motion to adjourn. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed, we are adjourned.